Ouch.
Make sure. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Attica High School, the site of tonight's Section 5 boys basketball matchup between North Rose-Wolcott and host Attica. Attica comes in as the number 7 seed. North Rose-Wolcott, the number 10 seed, dealing with some audio issues in the early going. We have since worked those out, ready to bring you tonight's game in full. You missed the first 2.5 minutes in terms of our commentary. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens with you on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. It's a 6-0 Attica lead here in the early going, and if you witnessed the brief delay early, we had toilet paper thrown onto the floor by the Attica student section and a warning issued by the officials here. The next time that happens, if it does happen, it will be a technical. So that's what you saw early in the game, and you've also seen a good start for the Blue Devils. Cole Hardin getting involved early, Landon Thomas turning defense into offense, and now a charge taken by Ethan Harmon. And Coach, during our audio issues, you gave us a breakdown of what to expect here tonight in this 7-10 matchup. Attica off to a good start, looking to advance to a matchup to take on Dansville, which would be tomorrow.
Yeah, just important, get some confidence in this one. I think big talent discrepancy there. As you see Harding pull up, score 6 points for him already. It'd be nice getting him going, Janes going. Coming back and playing tomorrow is not the biggest deal for kids this young, but preparation-wise maybe be a little bit of a handful for them. No, for North Rose, the big bodies inside 45 and 50, Axton Paul and Austin Smith. Attica's lane should be able to handle them pretty well.
3 ball from Nick Gilbert, no good, out of bounds to the Blue Devil.
Yeah, and as we saw earlier, North Rose turned it over the first 3 possessions. I think you take this long bus ride, an hour 45 for them, and it's 8-0, 4 minutes in. They start looking at that clock, wanting this to go a little faster here, as if they don't get anything going. So hopefully they get something going here, get a little confidence, and we get ourselves a game.
So I'd like to apologize for the audio issues, but we'd also like to thank CrazyCheapCars.com, our scoreboard sponsor here tonight. That's Crazy Cheap Cars, the ultimate in price and selection. We're nearing the midpoint here in the first quarter. Attica leading 8-0. We have an update from Avon's Class C1 semifinal. The Braves lead 7-6 over Sodas.
Oh.
Rejected by behind. Janes on the drive, but Smith was there to knock it away.
A pretty good job there by Nick Gilbert there, just getting control, getting possession.
Landon Thomas takes it away for Attica. In transition goes the Blue Devils guard, but he can't get the finish. Missed the rim. I'm not sure that was even deflected. Just an awkward-looking attempt there from Thomas. And now North Rose-Wolcott the other way, still looking for their first bucket here in the first quarter. The lid has been on the rim. Turnovers aplenty for the Cougars, and now a jump ball called. Possession arrow stays with North Rose-Wolcott. Coach for Attica, Rob Crowley, one of the top players in Blue Devils boys basketball history. You see him on the wall across the way. 969 points as a high school athlete, and he's since led this program to success. He's had Owen Thompson, who is the second leading scorer in program history, under his tutelage. He surpassed his coach while guided under his leadership, as you see Paul there finish at the rim for North Rose-Wolcott's first bucket of the game. But Coach Crowley has done a nice job with this program, and conversely, Mike Canale, a more inexperienced coach than Crowley is, hasn't been in it for quite as long as Coach Crowley, but he's done a nice job with this group. Only 3-17 this year, but you can see how hard they play under Coach Canale.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job of getting a little bit of penetration here. They lose the ball there. I mean, still down 8-2 here, battling with them. And we're going to see Bizon check in.
So here's Clayton Bizon. While we had our audio issues, we mentioned that Clayton Bizon has missed much of this season due to injury. You see the brace on his left knee. This is his first action in quite some time, trying to gear it up for a sectional run, and he is a big boost for this Blue Devils team. You see the size and strength just ripping through the uniform, and soon you'll see his ability with the basketball as well.
Yeah, it's good to see him get back. I mean, anytime you get an extra body, a good athlete, give him a chance to shake the rust off here.
That one taken away by Harding, but a foul called. This one will stay with the Cougars. Attica's also dealt with additional adversity this year. They had one of their top guards, Simon Lamparelli, lost for the season due to injury. He has not been able to make it back onto the floor and won't make it back for this sectional run. So 2 key players lost for the Blue Devils this year, and it's led to some up and down moments, but they enter this sectional tournament hopeful as they get Bizon back.
Yeah, it's nice to get be as full of strength as you can be in these situations. I mean, sectionals, you want a full roster. You might go a little shorter in the depth department the further you go along, but it's great to have players for foul trouble and, just to give some guys a blow when you get on the bigger courts.
Nice steal and finish from Ethan Meyer, and another steal underneath from Meyer. Some active hands wreaking havoc for the Cougars.
Yeah, great couple plays there. It's like I said, you got a fresh body off the bench. North Rose is yet to sub yet, so, they look a little gassed out there.
Bizon for 3. Look at the size on him, and he can knock it down from the perimeter as well, Coach.
Yeah, it's exciting to see him out there finally. Nobody came out and guarded him. He's like, going to make it this easy for me. I'm going to let it go.
Yeah, I think he's a player you really have to pick your poison. Able to knock it down from the perimeter. He can also put it on the floor and post you up inside. So I'm not sure you can defend all 3 levels when it comes to Bizon with the addition of just that size, strength, and ability. Harding for 3, no good. Rebound chased down by Austin Smith. And now here come the Cougars, hanging in there, trailing by 11, a minute to go in the first quarter, but they need to manufacture some offense here.
Yeah, Meyer doing a great job out front, just pressuring. Gilbert having him, Crane having him pick it up. Good defense here as well. Oh, they got away with a walk.
Inside for Smith, and he finishes.
Shades of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar there going through the lane. Nice, strong finish.
That used to be my move in freshman basketball, Coach, that baby skyhook. Bizon. Once again, money from the free throw line. Bizon on point here in the early going, and now he's taking charges. What an effort from Clayton Bizon here over the last minute and a half.
Yeah, holy cow, man. They're not going to guard him down there. He's going to keep shooting, but great job getting back. I was worried a little bit about his endurance, but he got up after taking that charge and almost sprinted back to the offensive side, so that's good to see from him.
Yeah, Bizon, one of many talented football players on this basketball roster for Attica, the sectional champion Blue Devils in Class C this past season. You had Bizon. You also have Landon Thomas, who contributed a ton for Attica. Also quarterback Braden Allen on the bench right now, waiting to see his first action tonight, but I'm sure we'll see him as the game progresses. 4 seconds remaining here in the first. Jack James from the free throw line knocks it down, and Attica finishes the first quarter with a 13-point lead. We'd also like to thank UR Medicine, Noise Health, quality care close to home. Also, Casella Waste will save your business time and money on trash and recycling services. Call 585-308-0662 for a quote today. Also, crazycheapcars.com, the ultimate in price and selection. Call 585-948-8000. And last but not least, Genesee Community College. Apply for free online, genesee.edu/apply. Genesee, your path. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens with you, working our way through some audio issues at the top of the broadcast, but we have since worked things out and ready to finish this one as they have the 6th quarter up on the board, but it is indeed the 2nd quarter here at Attica High School. The Blue Devils leading North Rose-Wolcott by 13 at the first intermission.
I think what you're seeing here, Alex, too, is you're seeing a little bit more spread out scoring by Attica. You got baskets by Meyer, you got Harding with a few baskets, Bizon with a few, and then James finally got one going. The more guys you got out there scoring, the harder it is on the other team. It gives you a better chance to win and keep advancing, and that's the goal here. Like, I think these last 3 quarters, Attica just keep putting the pressure on, keep trying to get some other guys involved to have that confidence going into tomorrow's game. I do like what Meyer brought to the court the first quarter as well. He brought a lot of energy and steals and defense, put a lot of pressure out top.
Yeah, it's been a good start for the Blue Devils, and we had their game against Wheatland Chili on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. As you see the inside look to Bizon, and he'll head to the line for 2 shots. Nice post entry from Janes there. But during that game against Wheatland Chili, a double-digit loss for Attica, they really only had Harding going. He was their only option offensively. And like you said, when you only have one guy to go to, it's very difficult on an offense, and it makes it very easy on the opposing defense.
Yeah, let's take Harding and Janes to go down and post up a little bit, but they're not post players. And now you got a post player, and you got 2 guys that can play perimeter, drive to the basket, and then also post up. It's a tough matchup for defenses. And, Thomas as well, the quickness out front. Like, they're going to make you work in the half court, that's for sure.
This one taken away. Janes to the rim, tried the dunk, and got the roll. Not the conventional slam, but he'll take it. It counts for 2.
Same as a layup on that one, but I think he felt a little pressure from Isaiah Jarvis chasing him down there.
Yeah, and that just speaks to the continuous effort that North Rose-Wolcott has shown. They have not been able to put the ball in the basket, but that has not diminished their effort on both ends of the floor. They continue to run the floor and play defense and try to beat their men down the floor. And now you see Harding going to the rim, and a foul called, and an intentional flagrant foul called against Austin Smith, as he was not going to let Harding throw that ball down.
No, and that's excessive contact. That's a good job by official Mike Gentile coming in with that. You don't need to see that on that one. It's one thing going after the ball, but he wound up and whacked him good. And at this point, you don't want to see anybody get hurt, especially when it's already starting to get out of hand here in the second quarter. So you get the 2, and they're going to get it underneath. Difference between an intentional foul and a technical foul is an intentional foul, you get the ball at the spot of the foul. So that's why they're getting it underneath.
Great description by Coach Dickens, who in his far distant past used to officiate, I believe, before your coaching career. Am I mistaken on that?
Dabbled a little bit in it, yeah. So it's good. It was always an advantage as a coach to have that perspective, to be able to know the rule book. You got a little bit more respect from the Stripes, and they're out there working hard. So nice entry pass,
and a nice ball fake there from Axton Paul, as he'll now head to the line for 2 shots, as he had a Attica defender hanging on his back. And now you'll see Bizon take a break, and it's going to be a process for him, working in and putting in these minutes and working into basketball shape. It's different than running in practice, playing in a game, that's for sure.
Yeah, just the pace. We're somebody that used to play fast, and we'd be playing teams that scored. And when you practice for an hour and a half, 2 hours, just going really fast, it puts a lot of strain on the other team as well. Like, there'd be times where we'd only be 5 or 6 possessions in, the other team would be gasping for air because we're just going up and down the floor fast. And I think Attica's got a chance to do that a little bit. I don't think Bizon's going to be out there for long stretches of times, but everything he can give them is going to be big and important for them. So you're going to have an and one here. All right, Axton Paul, good use of his body, good control on that.
Yeah, the big men for North Rose-Wolcott really give them an advantage against most teams, I'm sure, but the guard play has certainly favored the Blue Devils, and you saw it there in Thomas's drive to the rim.
Yeah, that's a tough shot. He really didn't have an angle at the backboard, but it's a great job. Good body control by Thomas.
That one taken away by Jeffrey Eisensmith. And of course, Coach Dan Dickens, former coach at Cal Mum, is, Janes getting every roll now. Got the roll on the dunk and now on the 3, but Coach, you've seen a lot of sectional basketball during your time, and the return of the tournament at Blue Cross Arena this year, as you see the three-pointer short from North Rose-Wolcott. As you see Janes in transition, and he can't get the roll on this dunk attempt, but Wheeler's there for the putback and a timeout called by North Rose-Wolcott. But why don't you just explain on how much that increases the goal for a coach, a team, a program, an athlete to reach that final game and to be put on display in front of the entire section in that environment in Blue Cross Arena, where we haven't had that environment due to COVID these past couple of years.
Right. Well, I think number one is just everybody goes to those games. So Friday night to be the C's, so you have 3 C games, and then on Saturday they start early. You have all the D's, B's, and A's, and it's just a great atmosphere. Section 5 does a great job putting that on. And I think when we, Jack Prificato was running it when I first started. Now Ed Storrs runs it. It takes a lot of work, and these guys do not get paid a cent. So putting in the time and effort to allow kids to play there, I know walking into there and you just look up, it's different. Like, we've been fortunate. I got to play there, I think, 7 or 8 times. But we've also played sectional finals at high schools as well. It's just totally different atmosphere. It's great playing wherever you play, but I just think that Blue Cross adds that little extra to it. You got the huge PA, you got the Jumbotron up top that you're looking at, and you get treated really well there. So just another nice thing for kids that get to experience that. And, come next weekend, we'll have 10, 12 other teams playing.
Yeah, certainly excited. A lot of local teams expected, both on the boys and girls side, expected to make sectional finals in their respective classifications. It's just been an unbelievable year for local basketball teams, and really an unbelievable stretch. We had several defending sectional champions, as you see Wheeler put it back inside. Several defending sectional champions entering the year. You had Avon, 3-time defending champion. You had Oakfield, 2-time defending champion. You also have Byron Burgeon making a run at the title for the first time in a long time. You have Batavia returning to the top of the pack in Class B1, whereas they put forth a sub-500 record last year. So it's been an interesting season to follow. A lot of resurgence, a lot of teams that had the success last year continuing their success. So there's been a lot to follow throughout the Section 5 boys basketball season. Yeah,
there really has. I mean, don't forget York won sectionals last year too. So that means
right. I didn't mean to leave out Coach Orman. I did try to give you a break there, I guess. He did take down your Raiders in the final. I guess subconsciously I tried to give you a break. But yes, York also a defending champion in Class C.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an exciting time for the Livingston and Genesee region conferences for basketball coming up. And it's a quick turnaround. We've got games tonight, we got games tomorrow, and then the C's come right back and play on Monday. And, having played in a lot of Monday semifinals games, you don't have a whole lot of time to prepare for that. We actually always would try to schedule ahead. Not that we're looking past, but you do have a lot of time over this week because most schools don't have school in session. We try to have our scouting report ready for the next opponent and have it to the kids Saturday morning during practice so that, we could do stuff there, then do our walkthrough Sunday and practice Sunday and be ready to go on Monday because it's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, Saturday quarterfinal and then a Tuesday semifinal for these teams, whereas the C's will be playing tonight and Monday. So certainly some added difficulties. This one is picked off in transition by Logan Caves, and he goes crashing to the floor in the corner there. Fortunately not injured, as Wheeler will take it out for the Blue Devils now. Wheeler for 3, no good. Rebound goes to North Rose-Wolcott and Axton Paul. But once again, we'd like to thank Crazy Cheap Cars, our scoreboard sponsor here tonight. That's Crazy Cheap Cars in Oakfield. Wheeler from Meyer, no good. Eisensmith flying in to keep it alive, and now North Rose-Wolcott's Chase Weber diving to the floor. A little bit of helter-skelter and a yard sale going on in the corner there. Looked like a hockey scrap there for a second.
I mean, there's bodies all over the place. One in front of the Attica bench, one at the top of the three-point circle, and one down here in front of the police officer. But, give these guys credit, still hustling out there. Weber coming in off the bench and providing a little effort there for North Rose.
We'd like to thank more of our sponsors here. UR Medicine, Noise Health, high quality care close to home. That's UR Medicine, Noise Memorial Health. Also, Casella Waste. Are you looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster, or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella is your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs, and as always, putting your waste to work. Call 585-308-0662 today for a quote. We told you about Crazy Cheap Cars, your ultimate in price and selection, and also Genesee Community College. Genesee, your path. GCC offers 60-plus affordable academic programs and over 120 scholarships for you to begin your next journey. Apply for free online at genesee.edu/apply or call 866-CALL-GCC today. So scrap for the loose ball there, and I believe Attica unable to come away with it. North Rose-Wolcott will keep it on the jump ball, and subs come on for the Blue Devils, now leading by 24. It's been all Attica in the early going. North Rose-Wolcott has not been able to find its way offensively, while Attica has seen a number of players contribute on the offensive end.
Yeah, trying to do a screen the screener out of bounds there, but you don't screen anybody, you're not getting anybody open. But I'll tell you what, Paul's doing a great job on the boards for North Rose.
Bizon collects that rebound for Attica.
Yeah, like I said, Paul's got to be pushing close to 10 rebounds for North Rose. Good to see the big guy out there giving it his all. He's only a junior, so all this experience can help next year.
Bizon down low, he'll head of the line now for 2 shots, and saw Janes once again almost getting the roll on that jumper, but misses, and Bizon on the rebound, and now he'll have 2 opportunities from the charity stripe.
I like how Bizon moves to the open spot. As you see, he got into a good position there where the box out wasn't on him, and now he's in space, so he can use his body for when the North Rose kid comes over to clear space, so he gets the rebound or positioning or the rebound, and it's a great job by him there. Looks like he might be on the line. It's tough to see here with the pitchfork there in the middle.
Right. That is deceiving for the official. I think that would be a point of contention for me if I were an official. Janes on the putback, no good. Harding now a second try, no good, and he's fouled. Another free throw opportunity coming up for Attica. But you see Coach Crowley over here. He's been at the helm for quite some time and really puts in a lot of time and effort for these kids. And as passionate of a coach as you'll find, this is obviously his alma mater, as Harding knocks down the first free throw. And it's really what you like to see. Guys coming back to their alma mater, putting in the time and the effort to help athletes that are in the position that they were formerly in.
Yeah, I mean, he was a really good player. I coached against him twice. They played in the Kalamazoo Christmas tournament early on. We beat him in the finals his junior year, and then they beat us in the finals his senior year. He was MVP, went on and played at Cayuga. Good defense by Thomas, but on that one, Crane looking a little out of control.
Wow, and what a save from Thomas, creating the transition look for Harding, and the great feed from Janes to complete the job. What a play there. Thomas, Janes, and Harding for Attica.
Yeah, just good floor vision there, and Harding, good job composing himself and taking that up strong. Bizon doing a good job on Paul down low here.
Deep three, no good from Crane, the captain for this North Rose-Wolcott team. Another 3 attempted, this time by Logan Caves, no good. Bizon on the rebound for Attica. Final 2 minutes of this second quarter. Blue Devils in firm control, and a nice finish through traffic for Cole Harding.
Yeah, it looked like they were set up to take a charge, but they were straight up and down, so Harding just kind of went around them and laid it in.
That one knocked away. Harding with it now. Tosses it to Thomas. Patience underneath. Janes in the lane. Gets the roll. This has been exactly what Coach Crowley wanted to see from his team. Putting the pedal to the metal in the early going. Relentless play on both ends of the floor, and everybody getting involved.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Be interesting to see how long he does run with these guys in the second half. You know, maybe one of those things, play them about 4 minutes, you know, and then get them out and get them ready for tomorrow night. You know, having to come back and play a tough Dansville team.
Now let me ask you though, does it change with a team like Attica? They've posted a sub 500 record this year. They really haven't found their rhythm yet. And now in this game, having a chance to find that rhythm, 40 points already in this first half. Do you have to weigh that as a coach, maybe leaving the starters in a little bit longer than you would, as Janes to the rim can't get the third try, now a technical for hanging on the rim. But do you have to weigh that as a head coach? You know that you have the quick turnaround tomorrow, so you do want to protect their conditioning, but also you want to get them as red hot going into that game as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Janes and Harding really getting tired out there running. They seem like they're in pretty good shape. I know Coach Crowley not happy with the technical there. I mean, 0 for 3 on the attempt for the dunks here. Maybe just lay it in and move on. I mean, yeah, I think they'll be okay. I think, like I said, I can't imagine them going much more than 4 or 5 minutes in the second half and then letting these other guys get some of these JV guys. One of the things I think you can take advantage of is you bring up some of these guys that play JV and they get a little taste of varsity. It's different, like the pace, the strength, all those things that, you might be a great JV player. And then when you get to varsity, you might not get any better. And I think those are some of those things where you can go into next year knowing I got to work harder because right now I might not play much. And then you see some kids do it and they have a great career at the varsity. You see other guys just be like, and they just kind of peak in JV. So good hustle here.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, North Rose-Wolcott's Austin Smith, relentless. He's not giving up here tonight.
Yeah. It's surprised North Rose-Wolcott should start a football team out there these size. I mean, who knows how much interest they'd get, starting to get a lot more 8-man teams. Maybe they have a good size lineup there with Paul and Smith and Milliman out there as well.
Wheeler swings it to Thomas. Nice move. Jump stop into the lane and the finish. Landon Thomas has been impressive here tonight. I believe they have the score wrong up top. I have 41. They have 42. I think during that last free throw for North Rose, I think they awarded one of them to, I think the only make to Attica before also awarding it to North Rose. We'll have to check that at the half, see if they keep it at 42. I have 41. Not sure, though. But 13 seconds remaining, and now Smith, a chance, one of the captains of this team, at the line for 2 shots.
Like you said, a lot of effort here by having to go fight and get a couple offensive boards. Take it right at Harding, taking it at Bizon, fearless in there. Good to see him get to the line with an opportunity to score here for them.
Yeah, Smith is a senior, so looking at the score, he knows that this could very well be his final game in North Rose-Wolcott, green and white. And when you sense that coming, you really want to go out on a high note if you have the right mentality as an athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. Good another rebound there from him.
And at the break, it's a 32-point Attica lead. What a performance from the Blue Devils. It is 42-10 we have on the score here, so we're going to keep it there, and we're going to keep it locked right here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. We'll be right back after a short break. During halftime, the Attica cheerleaders coming out to perform on the floor. All right, in the Attica News Sports Network. All right, we are back on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens with you, ready for the second half of this Class B2 matchup between number 7 Attica and number 10 North Rose-Wolcott. Attica in the lead by a wide margin at halftime. They lead it by 31, as I was correct. It's 41-10 on the Crazy Cheap Cars scoreboard. Inside, Harding rejects it as Paul was looking to finish, and now Thomas in transition finds Wheeler, and Attica begins the second half right where they left off in the first.
Yeah, good job running the floor there. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we only see about 4 or 5 minutes of these starters for Attica.
Now, it looks like Attica is going to win this game, barring a miracle comeback by North Rose-Wolcott. So what do you think for Saturday's matchup? Attica taking on Dansville. Dansville's had a nice year. They really have a talented starting 5. We've talked about them before. They can go at you at any position. They can score the ball 1 through 5, and they can shoot it from the perimeter. They also have a bit of size inside and are well coached by Coach Dave Moody. So what do you think Attica has to focus on going into that game against Dansville if they hope to walk away with what would be an upset win over the number 3 seed Mustangs?
Yeah, I think one of the things you're going to see with Dansville is well-balanced.
Number 2 seed Mustangs.
Yeah, is you're going to see well-balanced scoring there. Colin Gray's the senior there, their most experienced player, another charge taken, and subsequent technical.
So a technical foul called against Nick Gilbert. He'll take his seat. Motions running high here for North Rose-Wolcott. Some of these seniors and juniors since their final game of the season coming here tonight. But go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I think with Dansville, a lot of experience there. You've got Colin Gray, a third-year varsity player for them, probably their best overall player. But then you've got a couple really good guards in Dawson Wadsworth, Tyler Harris, who play at a high level. Reed Martin's another kid for them that's been very good. And then I was really impressed with Ethan Canfield when we went down. Their big guy in the middle played really tough game for them. So you got some good athletes, some good size. I think you're going to see a pretty good hungry Dansville team. This is going to be their first sectional game because it's still the quarters for them. Yeah, this will be their first. They got to bye. Stings waiting this long since your last game, but Coach Moody does a great job. You're going to see a well-coached. You're going to see changing defenses. You're going to see good sets on the offensive end as well, and a team that's going to play really hard.
I'd like to thank our sponsors here, beginning with UR Medicine, Noise Memorial Health, high-quality care close to home. Also, Casella Waste, your number 1 service provider for all your waste and recycling needs. Are you looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster, or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella is your number 1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs. Also, CrazyCheapCars.com, our scoreboard sponsor here tonight, the ultimate in price and selection. Find your next vehicle at CrazyCheapCars.com. Crazy Cheap Cars carries the largest selection of over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs of any dealer in the Genesee region. Also, Genesee Community College, Genesee, your path. GCC offers 60-plus affordable academic programs and over 120 scholarships for you to begin your next journey. Apply for free online at genesee.edu/apply. So Attica in firm control here in the third quarter over North Rose-Wolcott, leading it by 34 points with 2 minutes gone here in the frame. And Coach, a few changes during the sectional tournament this season. We already mentioned one of them being the return to the Blue Cross Arena for the sectional finals, and that's certainly an exciting development this season. The return after a hiatus caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, and I believe also financial concerns were wrapped in to that as well, if I'm not mistaken. But nice finish inside there for Axton Paul. Gets North Rose-Wolcott on the board here in the third quarter before a travel from Attica. But something that remains consistent here in the tournament is the open tournament. Every team makes the tournament, not the same in football where a select amount of teams make the sectionals. And I think that's a good opportunity for these kids. You never know what can happen in the first round. You don't see many huge upsets as Janes, fourth try is the charm as he throws it down, two-handed slam for Jack Janes to increase Attica's lead to 46-12. But like I said, Coach, I think it's a good thing for kids to get the chance to play in a playoff environment no matter what their records are. Some people disagree and would like to see a closed tournament and see maybe better competition in the first round, but what's your take on that?
I think everybody should get an extra game here. I mean, you know, you do get some lopsided scores, but you do see some upset. You do see some upsets, and I think, you know, you play teams in your league all season, you get a handful of non-league games, so you do see some times where teams come in with either a better record than they actually are or a worse record than they actually are. And I think that's where you get a chance to see this. One game, it's not the end of the world. You know, I think schools can afford to send a bus. Schools can afford to pay officials, although I believe this comes from Section 5 for that. But I feel each senior should get one last shot at it. It's easier done with this because you can play quicker games than in football where you play one game a week. It's just not ideal. It's not going to work with that. So other sports, almost every other sport does it. Teams can opt out if they feel like it's a safety issue or don't want to participate, but I don't see anything wrong with getting one last game for these kids. Get these kids out here from North Rose, these seniors especially, are working hard. Smith has played really hard. Paul's played hard for them as well. Hey, see him score there.
Nice fadeaway and touch from the big man. You've also had a nice game put forth by Lucas Crane and Nick Gilbert, the two guards working the ball for North Rose-Wolcott. And also you've seen Logan Caves out there extensively. And it's really been impressive to see the effort from these kids throughout this game. They knew it was a tall task coming into this game if the Cougars were going to pull off the win against a talented Attica team that played a battle-tested regular season schedule. But their effort has not wavered, and it's been mighty impressive to see if you're a North Rose-Wolcott fan. Coming into the game for Attica for the first time tonight, Aiden Schoonover. He's seeing his first action, number 24 on the far side. And I think you were right on, Coach, about 4 minutes for this full group of starters, and now you'll see Coach filter in some of his reserves.
Yeah, it's good to see Bizon getting some work. They're going to need him tomorrow. Like I said, Canfield is a tough kid inside for Dansville, as is Colin Gray. So they're going to need him. It also helps with any potential foul trouble. We've seen Janes get in foul trouble. We've seen Harding get in foul trouble earlier in the year with us. So good to have another good athletic body for them. Smith.
The big men for North Rose-Wolcott getting it done here midway through the third quarter. Two fadeaway jumpers, one from Paul, one from Smith. Good touch from both of the Cougars' big men. And now Janes launching the three, no good. Rebound goes to North Rose-Wolcott. Must be a JV call-up or an addition to the roster because we do not have number 15 on our roster here tonight. Three ball, no good, and now here comes Attica.
Yeah, I think this is one of those, Alex, where Coach Crowley's just hoping the clock just continues to run, as is probably North Rose here. Just try to get things done with.
I think you jinxed everybody there, Coach.
Yeah, I know, exactly, right? Hey, Bizon working hard. Good to see him get back to the line. I think, you're going to see two more come in. It's probably going to be it for, I'd assume, Thomas and probably Janes here, and I'm sure Harding won't be too far behind.
Meyer and Eisensmith set to check in for Attica. We've seen them throughout the night. Also for North Rose-Wolcott, Chase Weber checking back into the game as Smith will take a break. I think the X factor for Attica, it's Jack Janes. You know what you're going to get out of Harding from a game-to-game basis. His point-per-game average and his consistent energy on both ends of the floor is there every single game. Having watched Attica several times this season, not to say that Jack Janes doesn't put forth the effort, but there's some times where he's just not as assertive as I think Coach Crowley would like him to be. And I really harken back to that loss at the hands of Wheatland Chili that we had on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. Janes did not have the hot hand from the three-point line. As you see, North Rose-Wolcott's number 15 knock it down. Unfortunately, we don't have him on our roster, but a good-looking stroke from the Cougars guard, as we have not seen many perimeter jumpers knocked down by North Rose-Wolcott here tonight. But during that game against Wheatland Chili, Janes started off the game a little bit cold, and with the aggressive nature of Wheatland Chili, I think he really took a back seat in that game. And I think in order for Attica to advance past that talented Dansville team that you mentioned, they really need Janes not only to score, but they need his mentality to be where it needs to be in that game. And that's not to say he's the only player that they'll rely on. Thomas, a key player, he'll have to put forth his best performance. They'll need the best from Harding. They'll need the best from Bizon and others. But the ability of Jack Janes, you've seen it above the rim. You've seen it on the perimeter. He and Harding, I should say, are the top two threats for this Attica offense. And they really need that dynamic duo clicking on all cylinders, both aggression-wise and production-wise, in order for them to beat Dansville.
Yeah, I think having watched Janes play last year as a sophomore, I thought he had made some big strides this year. That Wheatland game, Wheatland's a physical team, and I've said that a few times. I think he maybe took a step one game. I mean, it's one game out of 20. So, I mean, I've watched him now 5-6 times this year. That's really the only time where I've seen him do that. But you're 100% right. In a game against Dansville, a physical, tough team that's won a lot of games, they're going to need him to be aggressive. They're going to need him to attack the rim a little bit more with the guy defending him and not just rely on the perimeter game. Because I think when he does put the ball on the floor, like, he can be a dynamic player as well. I just think sometimes he settles perimeter, so I think that is something to look for tomorrow night.
Right, it's certainly not a lack of ability. He's one of the top players in the Genesee region. He has been the past 2 seasons, able to score the ball both inside and out, and Attica really needs him and really the cast of characters for the Blue Devils. The return of Bizon also big, and really how he recovers over the next 24 hours will be key for Attica. You see that brace on his left knee of Bizon, and now with the ball inside. It's going to be interesting to see if he's at full strength tomorrow, and he'll have to do what he can tonight, make sure he takes care of his body, ice, do whatever the doctors are telling him to do to make sure that quick turnaround, that his knee is in proper shape. I know at the high school level, some of these kids, it's a Friday night, you like to go out and enjoy the time with your friends, but at the same time, come sectional time, your responsibility to your team, your coaches, and really the entire program increases. And I think for a player like Bizon, it'll be vital for him tonight to really make sure he does the right things and come out tomorrow on the right side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming Coach Crowley will bring the guys in tomorrow at some point earlier in the morning just to go through some things, and I'm going to probably go home, and most of them will probably just watch this and critique us for what we did. And
hopefully they don't watch the first 2.5 minutes where we were having the audio issues.
But
although they probably will for the toilet paper toss.
Yeah, you're probably right. I get a lot of views on that one. I think, yeah, I mean, we've talked about Dansville's court, too. Dansville's probably one of the longer courts in Section 5, too. So you're going to have these guys having to run an extra 10, 15 feet each possession.
Now, the one thing I think Attica may have to keep in mind entering tomorrow's game is they did not knock down many shots from the perimeter here tonight, and they are a team that relies on their perimeter shooting quite a bit. Janes, Harding, obviously we saw Bizon knock down the 3 tonight, and going into that game against Dansville with such size inside with Canfield and Gray and Martin also provide some size inside for them. I'm not sure they're going to be able to drive the ball as successfully as they were tonight with the athletic and size matchup that they have with the Mustangs. I think they're going to have to rely on that perimeter shot a little bit more tomorrow, and not having as many opportunities in this game to uncork a few of those shots and to see it go in, that could put Attica at a disadvantage in a blowout like this. You don't have the opportunity to knock down a lot of threes.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to slow things down, and it'd be nice to get out and get some transition like they did here, but we've watched Dansville play also. Like, they run. Like, they don't get tired, and they especially their first 6 or 7, like, they're very active, very aggressive. It's not going to be as easy, so hopefully they didn't get bad habits from how things went tonight. And, you know, I think when you do go into that game in that situation, Janes is going to have to knock some threes down as well as get to the hoop. You know, they're going to have some size mismatches with Harding, with with Harding, with Janes, Harmon out there. I'm assuming Harmon will have Reed Miller on him. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit more balanced if they're going to pull off the upset.
So here we see Braden Allen onto the floor for Attica for the first time tonight. And update from Avon, 58-32. The Braves in the lead over Sodus in the Class C1 opening round. So looks like the Braves will advance to the quarterfinal and have a chance to defend their sectional championship. We'll take a look at a few more games here and provide you some updates from throughout Section 5. Only one game tonight on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. We had 2 games on Tuesday and Wednesday. We also expect to have 2 games a night on Monday and Tuesday of next week, so make sure you tune into those. Also 2 games tomorrow on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. Leroy taking on Bath Haverling, and I think a really good matchup in Class B2. You're seeing 2 B2 teams go at it here tonight. We've talked a lot about Dansville and Attica, but Leroy and Bath Haverling, 2 quietly successful teams this year. They've earned some big wins. They've played some good basketball, and Leroy with one of the best players in Section 5 in Merritt Holly Jr., while Haverling really a cast of characters that get it done, more of a team-based attack for Haverling.
Yeah, the Hagedon kid for Bass, really strong.
3-ball there from Lucas Crane.
You know, obviously Leroy's got Merritt Holly Jr., Maverick McKenzie's played varsity for a few years, handles the ball really well. I've been impressed with this Augusto, the other big man for Leroy. He works as hard on the offensive boards as anybody I've seen this year. So, you know, that could be a good game if you know how that is when you get those jitters. And you know, I think last year was the first time Leroy's won a sectional game in a while. New cast of characters, like you said, so hopefully that is out of their mind. But you know, sectionals, you get a little anxious here, especially when I think the good thing is they're playing at 1 o'clock on a Saturday, so we don't have a whole lot of time to sit around during the day and think about it. Nice move there by number 40, Chase Weber.
And also we'll have another, as you see, Allen, nice feed to Meyer at the rim. Allen seeing his first action of the night and earning an assist. But we also have a night game tomorrow, Notre Dame taking on Honeoye in Class D1. Notre Dame, one of the favorites in Class D1. They'll have to knock off Avoca Prattsburg on their way to the title if they hope to make it back-to-back titles. And that's another defending champion that we failed to mention, the Notre Dame boys. So 4 defending champions, if that's it, unless we're forgetting another one. 4 defending champions from the Glow region going into the sectional tournament this season. So that just shows the amount of talent that's been put on display over the past several years. But Notre Dame taking on Honeoye tomorrow night. Notre Dame a vast favorite in that game on Micropone Court. Yeah,
I think it's the same thing, though. Notre Dame had a bye. Though they're excited to get out there play, especially excited to play at their home court. I'm sure Mikey, his first as the official head coach for the varsity team. I think, you know, we're going to see a very inspired Notre Dame team. I know losing to Avoca Prattsburg last year, they get a chance to maybe possibly play them in the finals. I think anytime you have added incentive, I think it's a good thing, and they have got that. You know, the team that knocked them out is a team that they could beat at the Blue Cross Arena to put up the block of wood.
Bizon and Janes back into the game for Attica. The Blue Devils forwards looking to stay sharp here with that game against Dansville coming up tomorrow.
Some new guys in here for Attica. Still got Bizon out there. Janes is out there. It's good to keep a couple of the guys out with some of these newer guys coming in. All right, ready for another Calmum connection out here. Ethan Harmon's dad, a Calmum.
3-ball from Janes. That's a good sign for Attica getting his stroke going here in the late stages.
Ethan Harmon's dad, a Calmum graduate. I coached a few of his cousins at Calmum. Sectional title winners Christina and Katie Harmon both played softball for me, so good to see him. I've not seen Tom here. I'm sure he's down below, but I did not coach Tom because we're about the same age, but it's another Caledonia connection here for me.
Yeah, you already dated yourself with Coach Crowley.
Yeah, I know.
But you'd been in it a long time. You started your career as a young coach, and you're not quite that old yet. I've seen much older in my own household growing up, and my father, the old coach at Batavia. They have Livonia tomorrow, and that's a quarterfinal matchup. That's a rematch of last year. Batavia, the number 1 seed in Class B1. Livonia coming off a close win over Mid-Lakes. Mid-Lakes really brought them to the brink, but Chris Coyle, what a game from him. 24 points, I believe. The emphatic dunk down the stretch of that game to seal the deal, and Livonia riding a wave of momentum as they go into that game against Batavia, who previously beat the Bulldogs by double digits during the regular season.
Yeah, just another great job by Coach Brasky at Batavia. I mean, last year not a prototypical season for them to bounce back at the number 1 seed. Tough matchup, 5 kids that can score, 5 kids that can shoot the ball at times out on the floor for Batavia. I mean, Livonia's going to have to, they're going to have to get a total team effort besides just Chris Coyle. His brother Nick's going to have to handle the pressure.
Schoonover on the steal for Attica.
They're going to have to get some production from their big men, like you said. Batavia did handle them pretty easily the first time they played this year. So I'm probably going to stop and check that one out tomorrow before we broadcast the Honeyway Notre Dame game. So
yeah, I'll likely be making my way back from Leroy and that Bath Haverling Leroy matchup, and I'll likely be able to take in that Batavia Livonia matchup at Batavia. And you never know how games like that are going to turn out in the postseason. Those two teams have played one another so many times over the past couple of years. Coach Matt Young for Livonia does a great job, and I'm sure he'll have his team prepared. And if Chris Coyle can have the type of performance that he had against Mid-Lakes, that gives them a chance to win. I think the X factor for Livonia is they need to get Connor Feehan really upwards of 15 points, 20 points, I think, if they're going to have a chance.
Yeah, he struggled early the other night, but he got it going a little in the third quarter. Yeah, he's going to have to be confident out there, think it's going in. Like you said, Matt Young's done a great job at Livonia. He's the elder statesman now in the Livingston County since I retired. Had a couple really outstanding seasons 6-7 years ago where they were taken down by Charlotte in the finals one year.
A school that isn't even around anymore.
Yeah, so I mean, listen, I mean, I thought it was big to win the seniors to win their last game on their home court, and they're not going to go out without a fight. That's just not what Livonia does. So excited to see that one too a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of great action across Section 5. A lot of games tipping off at 7 p.m. tonight, so we're going to have a chance to watch it over our dinner date that we have going on after this, Coach. I owe you dinner. You've done a great job with us here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network, providing insight. We also did a Section 5 boys basketball preview that's available on our website, thedailynewsonline.com, as well as our various social media channels. And you did a great job breaking down each bracket. And I think we're most excited to watch that Class C2 bracket. You have Pembroke, you have Oakfield, as I believe that was Schoonover knocking that down for Attica. I was looking away at the time. As you see, York leading in the early going 11-3 over Perry. But I think that's our top bracket to watch, if I'm not mistaken, Coach. You have York, you have Pembroke, you have Oakfield. 3 teams that could all win it, all from our area, and you're familiar with all 3.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some dynamite games. I think when you talk about that sectional final, it's going to be the middle one, which is a perfect time to play. Sometimes you play that first game like you got to go. You're starting at like 5:45 in Rochester. Second game's ideal. It's 7:15, and then you got the third game starts at 9. I mean, you don't play games at 9 o'clock normally, so I think it's the best time to have it. I think you're going to get a lot of that C2 people staying for all 3 games. You're going to have some huge crowds.
Banked in 3 for Curtis Daniel. The student section chanting his name, and the Attica junior gets a chance, and he knocks it down. What a moment for Curtis Daniel to have that support from your classmates and to come through. The bank is open here at Attica High School, and another opportunity, and he wasn't able to knock this one down, but they feed him again, this time off the dribble over the backboard, and he knocks it off the wiring up top. But Coach, how exciting is that for a player? You have the student section chanting your name, and to have your classmates supporting you and, like I said, come through, what a moment.
Yeah, I kind of expected half the student body to take off at halftime, but they're sticking around to the end. Cheering for North Rose, too.
3-ball from Isaiah Jarvis. Back-to-back threes for North Rose-Wolcott, as you saw Lucas Crane knock it down in the previous possession.
Yeah, here he goes again, maybe?
As I catch up our score here, 62-29 on the Crazy Cheap Cars scoreboard. Daniel, another opportunity. He likes that bank, but unable to come up with that one. And that'll do it here from Attica High School. The Blue Devils with a 62-29 win over visiting North Rose-Wolcott. Thank you for joining us on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. We'd like to once again thank our sponsors, beginning with crazycheapcars.com. Also, UR Medicine, Noise Memorial Health, Casella Waste, again, crazycheapcars.com, and Genesee Community College. Join us tomorrow, 1 p.m., Leroy taking on Bath Haverling, the Class B2 quarterfinal. We'll see you then. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens for the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. We'll see you next time.